I'm not making this video to say that Real Madrid is cheating. I'm not also here to justify why I'm right and why I'm the best and why I see things and you guys can't see anything. I'm not here to make that type of video, and I don't want to give off that impression. The reason why I'm making this video is because I want to give everybody here context so you guys can know exactly what type of league Barcelona is playing in and how difficult it is for Barcelona to win La Liga. That is the reason why I'm going to be making this video, not because I'm trying to prove to everybody here that I'm right and everybody's wrong. That's not my personality. That's not what I do. That's not what I like to do. What I like to do is just help everybody know exactly what's going on in La Liga and to just have more clarity for us to understand what it means to be a Barcelona fan and how hard it is for Barcelona to do well in La Liga. And that's it. Now, I think that there has to be accountability first. I think that Barcelona themselves have to improve individually and collectively. We have to be better defensively, offensively. We have to pass the ball faster. We have to play correctly, right? Because what Barcelona have been doing in the past 2 weeks, it has been okay, but okay is not enough. We have to play world class. We have to be superior to any other team that we do face in La Liga and in the Champions League. We have to have accountability first, right? But it becomes 10 times harder when you know that the league is favoring for a certain team to win La Liga, and that is Real Madrid in this case. And this game between Girona and Real Madrid further proves my point. Now, this goes beyond this game, right? Because I can go into a whole other different conversation, but let me just bring it up just for a bit, right? I'm going to be talking about the Girona versus Real Madrid match in just a few minutes, but I just want to say another thing. It goes further than this, because I remember when Barcelona went into first place in La Liga and everybody was celebrating, right? We were very happy. Barcelona won 3-2 against Celta, and we were on top of the league. And the first thing that happened after Barcelona went to the top was Javier Tebas claiming to the media that Barcelona are going to have to go through court because there is speculation about Barcelona paying the refs, and they have been paying the refs for over the past 7 to 8 years. That was the first thing that was said after Barcelona went into first place. There was zero recognition on Barcelona going over Girona and Real Madrid. Zero. The only thing that was talked about and the whole agenda was about Barcelona going to court and that they might get their points reduced because of them cheating in the past 6 to 7 years because they have paid 7 million to the refs and to like some other like companies, right? And that was the whole agenda. Now, the irony about this whole thing is that everything that we are going to be speaking about regarding Real Madrid and Girona is all about Real Madrid getting the helping hand from La Liga. Now, look, I'm not saying that La Liga is trying to help Real Madrid win every match, but they are trying to give them a much better chance to get as many points as possible, whether it's 1 point or 3 points, whether it's Real Madrid losing 1-0 and they want to help them get to a 1-1, or if they're tied 1-1, they're going to help Real Madrid go on a 2-1 win. They just want to increase their chances. I'm not saying that the main objective for the league is to have Real Madrid win every game. They can only do so much, but still, the fact that the league is putting out that helping hand, it's like the irony is just so funny, because everything that has been going on regarding within the league is that everybody is saying that Barcelona are cheaters because they are the ones paying the refs and the refs are helping FC Barcelona. And I also remember, right, after Barcelona beat Sevilla yesterday on the Spanish news channel, I think it was on ESPN, they did talk about the match between Sevilla and Barcelona and how like it was very hard for Barcelona to go through Sevilla, but it only lasted about 5 minutes. And then the rest of the show and the other 40 minutes consisted of Barcelona being sued or being in trouble. They had to go to court, and they just talked about how Barcelona are cheaters and that they were paying the refs for the past 9 years or 8 years or 7 years. That was the main topic after Barcelona won against Sevilla 1-0. So isn't that crazy? And what is even crazier is that no one is even talking about how Barcelona are the only team in La Liga that is unbeaten. They haven't received not one loss. They have only won and tied a couple of times. No one is talking about that. But the only thing that people are talking about and what the media wants to talk about, you know, like Javier Tebas and the rest of the media in Spain, they just want to talk about how Barcelona is in big trouble. And that's it. They're not talking about how Barcelona are doing a solid job and a better job overall compared to Real Madrid and Girona. This whole agenda is so infectious that it came to Manchester City, and they wanted to ask Pep Guardiola about the whole situation, and this is what he had to say. What I'm pretty sure is when Barcelona won, it was because we were the better opponent. That I'm pretty convinced about right now. In our day, we won because we were better than our rivals, and when they were not, they don't win, they lose. But justice will decide what really does happen. So it even went to Pep Guardiola, and he had to defend FC Barcelona, and he represents Manchester City. So let's step away from that, because I know that the whole point of this video was about the match between Real Madrid and Girona. So let's go into that, right? I want to talk about 3 different things, and that is about the calls that favored Real Madrid. Moving on to point number 1. This is what makes me believe that Real Madrid are getting the helping hand over the league. Again, I'm not trying to prove something. I'm not trying to say that I'm correct and you guys are wrong. I'm not trying to give out that impression. I'm just trying to call it out how it is. And hopefully you guys can get out more clarity on just how hard it is for FC Barcelona to win La Liga. That is the main objective of this video. So again, going going to point number 1, we saw Porto from Girona get injured because there was a huge tackle that was made by Nacho. And you can see on this video, Nacho just went ham on Porto. It was a criminal tackle by Nacho, and it was a foul that was committed on the 93rd minute when Real Madrid were winning 3-0. So this foul was not even needed, and he still did it. But this referee named Pulido Santana gave Nacho the yellow card first because of this tackle, but then after a couple of minutes, he's like, okay, let me go check VAR to see if this really was a foul. And that is the craziest thing about this whole thing, is that he gave him a yellow card first because he's like, okay, based off like what I saw, that's a yellow. There's nothing really serious about this tackle from Nacho, when all of us can clearly see from here, from our televisions, that was like a criminal tackle. It is a tackle that can end somebody's career, and the ref said, no, that's a yellow card. And he had to like debate whether he should go to VAR, and then once he went to VAR, then he's like, okay, yeah, now it's a red card. But like, bro, like we saw that from the very beginning. We knew that this was a straight red. And as a matter of fact, who knows what's gonna happen to Nacho after this game and what happens tomorrow? Is he going to receive a 3-match ban because of how harsh that tackle was? I don't think so. I don't think that that's going to be in the agenda from the league. They're never gonna give him a 3-match ban, a 4-match ban, a 5-match ban, or even a 2-match ban. They won't give him that. They favor the player. They favor Real Madrid. But with Lewandowski, that gesture that he did to the ref about 6 to 7 months ago, with that, with that, he gets a 3-match ban. But with this one, with this tackle, this criminal tackle, he gets nothing. Potentially, right? We never know, because I'm recording this like 2 hours right after the match was over. Let's go on to the second key point, and that is Bellingham. Bellingham did cut off one of the passes coming from Girona when he was on the floor, and he cut it off with his hand. And you can clearly see on this video that yes, Bellingham has committed a penalty that was in favor for Girona, but the ref said no, that is not a handball. Now I know where the debate is going to come from. I know what many of you guys are going to say, and what's crazy is that some of you guys are going to be Barcelona fans defending the fact that Bellingham never did a handball. But let me tell you guys one thing. If there was a player that went into the exact same predicament as Bellingham, but the only difference is that his face is facing the floor and his hands are midair, he hasn't even finished falling, and the ball hits his hand, then yes, I would tell you that is not a handball. But because Bellingham in this case is clearly balanced with his 2 feet and his 2 hands, right? His legs are touching the floor, his hands are touching the floor, and most importantly, his face is facing the ball, and then he still touches the ball with his hand. That is a clear handball. You can see that it is so tensional on what he was trying to do. He had all the balance in the world to do what he had to do. His face was facing the ball, and he moved his hand just in time for the ball to not cross over to one of the players. And so that's a clear penalty. I have no idea why someone would want to defend the fact that Bellingham never committed a handball in their own box. This should have been a penalty for Girona, but the ref said no, it is not a penalty. I am convinced that right next to Vinicius, Bellingham is one of the most protected players in this league, or what we all do call it, Florentino League. He is one of the most protected, right? I think that Real Madrid are doing an extra premium payment to Bellingham because the fact that Bellingham first made that tackle to one of the Atletico Madrid players in their previous game and then put out this handball against Girona and get the least amount of consequences from it, it just tells me that he is one of the most protected players. If this was Gavi making that tackle against Atletico Madrid and then committing this handball inside the box, it would have been a straight red card and also a 3-match ban, and then with the handball, it would have been a penalty against FC Barcelona. That's what would have happened if Gavi was in place of Bellingham in those 2 situations. But because it is Bellingham himself, everything went in favor of Real Madrid. They give the least punishment for this club, and it's crazy to see that. And so now lastly, I just want to end it with this quick one right here with Joselu committing another handball inside the box that should have been a second penalty for Girona, but because the ref said, yes, I'm favoring Real Madrid, it is not a penalty. So there's like 3 clear actions that were in favor of Real Madrid, and that is why Real Madrid were able to defeat Girona 3-0. And I saw Girona in this game. They had character. They showed attacking quality. They could have scored a couple of goals against Real Madrid, but they couldn't do that. And especially when you have the refs favoring a certain side, you can only do so much. The only team that is able to defeat Real Madrid while we have a ref on the field that favors Real Madrid to win or get as many points as possible, it is only FC Barcelona, which is why I do say that it's important for us to play in world-class level, elite level, so not even the refs can help Real Madrid get to the top. The only team that is capable of beating Real Madrid and in a corrupt league, it is FC Barcelona, and under the correct management, of course, like with Xavi Hernandez. I'm fully convinced that Xavi Hernandez will get everything correct with this club as soon as possible and within these next 2 or 3 weeks, offensively, defensively, and as a unit. And so seeing all of these things take place in this match, the nerve of everybody in the media, and especially like some of these Real Madrid fans, some even Barcelona fans, right? It's crazy. The nerve of them to continue to say that Barcelona is corrupt, that Barcelona have to go to court because they pay the refs. Look at what has been going on with Real Madrid and the league and how much favoritism there is. So that is all I do have to say about this video and this conversation. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.